Hello, I'm Claire Harrop, Head of Specialist Protection with Legal & General. Today I'm going to be talking to Dean Stockwell. Dean is a young, healthy and fit company director who unfortunately suffered a stroke recently. We'll listen to Dean talk about his claim and the reasons why his business has decided to take out business protection cover. Hi Dean, thanks for joining us today. Can you tell us your story in your own words?
We had a business trade show up in Scotland and I was travelling back. I'm relatively young and fit, haven't got high cholesterol, blood pressure, don't smoke, don't heavily drink. So you kind of think, I'm fine, I'm fit, I'll be okay. I drove all the way home from Scotland. I felt fine all the way back. I got towards Birmingham and started to feel unwell. Got to the service station, stopped, had a drink, took a bit of a rest, walked around and felt fine. Got back in my car. I was at about an hour then from home. I was doing the maximum speed. All of a sudden, my head just fell against the side of the window of the car. And that's obviously, now I know I had a stroke at that time. Wasn't sure quite what was going on. Kicked my leg off the accelerator while swerving around vehicles. It all happened so fast. But after a period of time, I managed to get myself to the hard shoulder. And I just managed to keep touching the accelerator and roll at 3 or 4 miles an hour to get to the services. I managed to get someone at the service to call the paramedics for me, and they said I'd had a stroke, which I didn't really know what a stroke was, to be honest with you. And I was taken to hospital, and that's where it all began, really.
So how long was the recovery from the stroke?
I was in hospital for quite a period of time. 6 to 8 weeks probably before I started going back to work. My wife kindly used to drive me in, so I used to do a small amount of work that I could just to keep myself going, really. But I suppose it was probably 6 to 8 months before my arm and my leg were back to some sort of normality, where I was walking without a limp and walking sort of unaided.
So how was the business impacted with you being off work for such a long time?
It did impact us because obviously we're a small business. We only employed a handful of people, and the main people who did majority of the work were the partners. And we did everything and anything that needed to be done. So we took the policy out to protect the profits, the staff, and obviously the fixed costs that occurred within the business.
And what type of insurance cover had you actually taken out?
We have key man, we have partnership protection, and we also have healthcare.
Right, okay. So what actually made you take out the partnership protection policies?
Well, partnerships was obviously for us as partners to protect us, obviously for our families if anything was to happen. That would then enable us to pay the people out of the business without affecting the business, so the business could continue for the other partners.
So what made you take out key person cover?
Key person we took out to protect the business, the profits of the business, just in case there was a problem with any of the partners, the business could continue.
How did your advisor explain the need for business protection to you?
The advisor said to us, what would happen if your partners became ill? What would happen if your partners couldn't fulfil their work requirements at work? I think it was quite good because he simplified things by saying that obviously the partnership protection is to do with the partners, which makes a lot of sense. So it protects us and our families, and obviously the key man protects the business, which is obviously the other important thing as well. So it was just tried to make it very simple for me to understand.
So what did it mean to you to actually be able to claim under your critical illness policy?
As the main breadwinner in the family, it gave my wife peace of mind that if I wasn't going to get any better, then obviously financially she would be in a better situation.
And when you made your claim for your critical illness cover, how did you actually find the claims process through Legal & General?
To be fair, it was fantastic. I didn't really get involved an awful lot. I only had to give my financial advisor a bit of information about the doctors who were involved with my treatment, and basically he dealt with everything else. He did the paperwork, he made the contact, and told me that it would take a period of time before the payment came through.
What would you say to businesses who don't actually have this type of cover?
Just peace of mind, basically. I think you never know what's around the corner. and I think you just, for your family and for your business, I think it's just a thing you should take out. I was advised that because we were young, not at a young business, but we were young in ourselves, that it was a good time to take out the policies, because obviously the younger you are, the cheaper the policies are to start off with.
Why do you think other businesses wouldn't take out this type of protection?
I'm not sure. I didn't know much about the policies until I was advised, but I think it's something you just don't talk about. I think unless somebody actually comes to you and says, you need, this is good for you, that's good for you, whether it's partnership, key man or other policies. I think it's the not knowing why people don't take out these policies.
Would you recommend business protection to other business owners?
Definitely. I think for the peace of mind that you get with the policies, you never know what's around the corner. I think that it's a must. You should have it in business.
That's great. Thanks very much for your time today, Dean.
No, thank you.
Thank you for listening today. I hope you found this webcast useful. If you have any further questions, please contact your financial advisor.